call is now being recorded.
So I will tell you that again. I am like explaining you in case of any query. Just comment me in a comment box if you are satisfied with that, and repeat once again. Thank you, Sri Harsha. So these are the three types of building blocks that is majorly used for an algorithm. So the first one is an instruction oriented thing. If the instruction oriented thing we have discussed in the previous class. If the condition is true, then go to step 5. If the condition is false, then go to step 8. We have discussed in the previous class. Like that, an example has been discussed. So that is called an instruction. Based upon the instruction, it will take into your program steps. That is an instruction. And control flow, it will get that if the condition want to be checked there, and if the condition is satisfied, it will execute one of the programming part. If the condition is not satisfied, it will execute another one of the programming part. In the previous example, we have told that if A is greater than B, then go to step 5 or something like that. We have mentioned that. So two condition is mentioned, that step 5 and step 6, whatever it may be. If a condition is true, the step 5 will be executed. If a condition is false, step 8 will be executed. So in that instruction, the control flow has to be maintained. So these two are the building blocks of an algorithm. And apart from these two, one of the major topic will be a functions, how the function has been used in an algorithm. So the function concept will be explained you while we are going into a Python languages, while we are going into the Python coding part. And that time I will explain you the functions. Fine. So what are the control flow? So instruction, you have already known that step-by-step instruction, whatever instruction we are given, it will produce an output. So this control flow has been divided into 3 types. So one is a sequence, and another one is a selection, and another one that has been mentioned as iteration. So sequence in the sense, it most probably like an algorithm, it will be consist of step-by-step process. And the second one, the selection part, will be a decision-making thing. So you want to check a condition and you want to give a 2 solution. If the condition is true, then you want to go for a first solution. If a condition is false, then you want to go for a second solution. While discussing the example, we can get you a clear idea about that. What is the selection process? And third one is an iteration process. So that is a looping statement. So till the loop will not, the loop has been, till the loop, the condition is true, the loop will be executed continuously. The condition is false, the loop will not execute and it will exit from the group. So these two I will explain you in the upcoming slides. The program has been there, so I will explain you. So this is the 3 concept that was mentioned in a control flow, that is sequence, selection and iteration. So sequence in the sense, it will be as like an algorithm, there is a step-by-step process. And selection, it will check the condition, and if the condition is true, it will execute one of the part. If the condition is false, it will execute another one of the part. And iteration, it will be a looping statement. Commonly, you heard about the term looping statement. It will continue, it will execute continuously till the statement will getting false. So looping statement, it will continuously executed till the loop statement will false. If the loop statement is true, it will continuously executed. If the loop statement is false, the program will be terminated or subprogram will be terminated. Fine. Is there any doubt? Or else I want to explain again.
Explain again, sir.
Yes. So in the previous class we have discussed the algorithm, right? We have seen some of the programs, some of the example how to write an algorithm for finding the greatest of 3 numbers and finding the factorial of an individual number. Correct?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So in that, building blocks of an algorithm has been represented for each and every algorithm. It is not to be used in your programming language, but before writing the algorithm, we want to know those building blocks, how the algorithm want to be written. Fine. So there are 3 types of building blocks will be there. One is instruction, and another one is control flow, and another one is function. So instruction and control flow basically will do a basic operation whatever the program has been written, has to be written, and the function will play the programming language part. So first we will discuss about the instruction and the control flow. So what is meant by instruction in the general word? Don't go with an algorithm. What is meant by instruction?
To do.
Whatever instruction we are suppose if NIT is giving you some of the instruction to join the call automatically. If you want to join the call at the time, then you want to join the call at the time, right? Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes. So that is called an instruction. So whatever things you are giving into an algorithm, that want to be executed. So that is called an instruction. We can't able to skip the step from step 1 to step 8 or step 3 to step 5. We can't able to skip. We want to start with the step 1 and we want to stop with the step n. So that is called an instruction. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Next, coming to the control flow. So I have mentioned that control flow has been divided into 3 types. So one is the sequence control flow. The flow must want to be in sequence. So most probably it will be like an algorithm, that is an instruction algorithm that will consist of sequence. So from starting from step 1 to step n, the sequence will be maintained, right? Clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Now coming to the selection. If I am giving you a topic that if you are if you are attending the class from 12 to 12:15, you can able to attend. If suppose you are entering into the class at 12:16, you want to be wait in another classroom. Fine. Just consider the example. If you are coming inside to the Google Classroom till 12:15, I can able to admit you. If you are coming at 12:16, I can't able to admit you, and I will wait you in some other classes. I make sure that I'm going to wait you in some other classes. So here, what is the condition?
Come at 12:16.
Yes, the condition is whether the student has entered into the class before 12:15. If yes, then the student want to continue the regular class. If no, then the students want to be in a waiting list. Fine.
Yes,
Is it
sir.
clear?
Yes.
Yes. So these are the 2 types of selection parts that we are already that we have discussed in the selection thing. That is decision making and giving the solution. So this is the major concept of selection. You want to make a decision and you want to give a solution. Yes. Yes. Next time I am coming to the iteration part, and again I am giving you an example. The classes has been conducted between 12 to 12:50. So this is the 50 minutes of a duration the classes is going to be conducted. So the students want to be entered into the Google Meet in any time before 12:50. So what you are doing right now is you are entering into the class at 12:10 and leaving the class at 12:11 and entering into the class at 12:15 and leaving the class at 12:20. This iteration will be happening in the Google Classroom. So once the 12:50 has been crossed, no one can enter into the classroom without the permission. Because the program has been terminated, so the Google Classroom has been closed. Fine. The Gmeet has been closed. Okay. So this is the I'm giving you a real-time example that iteration, once the time has been fixed, and in between those time, how many outputs you are getting, you can get an output. Once the time has been closed, then you can't able to execute the certain blocks. So that will be mentioned as here as iteration. Fine. Is there any doubts here?
No, sir.
No. Is anyone Harsha who's messaging me right now? Sri Harsha?
Sir.
So is that clear?
Yes, sir.
If anyone having doubt, you can ask me again, and I will ready to repeat this thing again also, no problem. But the thing before going to the programming part, you want to be clear about these things. If you are not clear about these things, and it will be very trouble when you are going with the programming part. In the time of programming, I will tell you that this is the program which consists of sequence, selection, and iteration. So you want to do a program in the sequence method or selection method or iteration method. So on that time, you want to know what is sequence, what is selection, and what is iteration. So anyhow, I will share you the videos, and you can make it repeated more till you understand. And if you are not understand, you just call me. Then we will make some other arrangement to recall those things, right?
Okay, sir.
Okay. So next one is. So this is one of the basic thing in an algorithm. So notation of an algorithm. So there is a 4 types of notation. So who's that? Can you mute it out? So yes. So there are 4 types of notations over here. One is a step form, and second one is pseudocode. Third one is flowchart, and fourth one is programming language. So step form is as of like that an algorithm. You want to write a step-by-step process, and the computer science background students will heard about the name that is pseudocode. So third one is flowchart, and fourth one is programming language. So we will discuss one by one here. And this is a step form. It is a step-by-step procedure for solving a task or a problem. The step must be ordered, unambiguous, and finite in numbers. It is English-like representation of logic which is used to solve the problem. Same as like that the algorithm, but it will want to be in a step-by-step process. And these are the keywords that we want to be followed in the step form. That is, keep in mind that algorithm is a step-by-step process. Yes. Use begin or start to start the process that we have discussed in the previous classes itself, and include variables and their usages that we will discuss in the upcoming class. When we are going to the program part, we will discuss about this, and I will give you an example. In the previous class, we have find out the factorial of a number, right? In the step 2, we have collected the number n. So we have mentioned that read n, and we have got the input as 2 or 3 or something. We have whatever the input we are getting, we can get from that read concept, and that is called as a variable. And what are the usage of the variable, that we will discuss in the upcoming class. And if there are any loops, try to give sub number list. So while going with the selection and iteration process, the looping statement will be there, and we want to give us sub numbers. If your program is too big and you want to give a sub numbers list also, and try to go back to step number if loop or condition failed. So we have discussed that go back statement. If the condition is true, then you will go for this step. If condition is false, then go for this step. So that is a go back statement. And use jump statement to jump from one statement to another. Try to avoid unwanted raw data in an algorithm, and define the expression what you are giving over there in a general representation of an English, and use break and stop to terminate the process. So these are the conditions that we want to follow by the step form, that is in writing a step form in an algorithm. And now coming to the pseudocode, so this will play a major role in programming languages. So So algorithm is basically an English language that we can write, basically a language that basically we will write an algorithm in a local language. That was true. And this pseudocode will be an advanced of an algorithm. We can't able to write whatever we are thinking or whatever we need. Here the pseudocode will have some of the restriction and rules and keywords that want to be followed here. So in algorithm we can start anywhere, we can start and at the end we can stop. But in pseudocode the starting line will be begin main program and end main program. To write a pseudocode, we want to start the program with begin main program and end main program. If the program is too smaller, and you can start with the keyword like begin and stop the pseudocode with the keyword like end. So whatever I have marked in a red color, that are mentioned as a keyword. And for initializing the variables or initializing the values, we want to use those keywords as initialization, and we want to finish it up with end initialization. And if your program is more than two or three papers, you can mention that. If your program is too big and you want to write an algorithm and you want to divide the program into subprogram, and each and individual subprogram want to be begin with begin subprogram and end with end subprogram. For the selection process that you have mentioned, that we want to write the keyword if, then, else and end if. For the multi-way selection, case where, otherwise and end cases. For pre-test, it will be consist of while and end while. So while loop, it will starting as while as a keyword, and the while loop want to be end as while end. For a post-test repetition, repeat and until. So these are the keywords that has been mentioned there. So I will explain you, don't get panic over here. I will explain. This is a advanced step of an algorithm by using some of the keywords that I have mentioned there. In an algorithm, it is a natural language. We can write your general English or your own languages, whatever you have thought, whatever you are thinking in your mind, you can write a code. And it will be an advance. It has some of the defined rules and structures and some keywords that want to be used normally. So this keyword is appeared in your program, then you will get a clear structure about your program. If you are going with your exam point of view, if you are writing a keyword correctly and you are going to execute and you are producing a correct output, then you will score a maximum mark from here. Algorithm, you no need of a keyword, you can write in your own language also. And for the pseudocode, you want to mention this keyword and you want to highlight those keywords in your exam papers. Yes? Any doubts?
No, sir.
Yes? Be active in a chat box. That will be. No. Yes, Hari, you are newly joined. Welcome. Be active in a class chat box. If you are having doubt, you can mention this. Mention the doubt, and if you are not having doubt, you can mention this. I am not having doubts, or yes, no, something like that. I want to know whether you students are here and listening or not. So that's why. So yes. So make sure that is clear. I am going. So basic topic, I am getting three classes. For the one topic, I am taking 3 classes. Why for that? Without basic, if you are not entering into the subject, it will be so difficult. So that's why I am entering this. So I am explaining you again. The algorithm is a natural language. Whatever you can write in an algorithm, and you can find out the problems and you can give the solution. As of like the pseudocode, it will be some rules will be defined over there, and some structure will be there, and some keywords will be there. Based upon the rules, structures, and the keywords, you want to write an algorithm, and you want to find out the error, and you want to rectify those errors. So that is the difference between the difference between the algorithm and the pseudocode. For that pseudocode, I have mentioned some of the keywords that want to be used in the pseudocode. I was mentioned there. I have mentioned only some of the keywords. There is a lot of keywords over here, and I will mention some of the keywords. So kindly go with those keywords, and while we are going to the program part, I will explain you how these keywords has been used there. Fine. So now coming to the flow chart. So can anyone tell me what is a flow chart? Computer science students who have studied computer science, can anyone tell me what is flow chart? Whether it is getting bored?
No, sir.
No. So who is this? So can anyone tell me what is flow chart? A computer science students has already studied those things, and you want to tell that what is flow chart?
Represent a process, sir.
Representing a process. Good. Is there any other terms? Just see the slides, and I mentioned there. And by seeing those slides, you can give me an answer.
Step-by-step approach.
Step-by-step approach. Okay. Is there any other answers? By showing in symbols. Varun. Okay, good. So I will tell you this graphical representation of a program. Sangavi, yes. So that is a graphical representation. That means a pictorial representation of a particular program. Have you heard about, have you seen those memes that you are coming in your WhatsApp or Facebook in the social medias?
Yes,
Yes?
sir.
Yes. So you are enjoying those memes by seeing the picture, right? Yes?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So you are enjoying those memes by seeing the picture. If you are getting the picture and you are seeing the memes, then you are enjoying that. And if you are seeing those memes in a text message, have you fulfilled about that memes? Have you enjoyed the memes? If you are getting the memes in a text message, like only text-oriented memes you are
Not
receiving.
much, sir.
No, so what the thing, if you are giving a graphical representation and you will get a clear idea about what the particular topic has been used to be there, and you can enjoy those particular topics over there, correct? So
Yes.
same thing has been followed, the same thing has been followed in a development team, that once the algorithm has been written and it want to be consist of a predefined structure that we can use as a pseudocode, and once the pseudocode has been designed over there, and that pseudocode want to be represented in the flowcharts. So that is the flowcharts work, and that flowchart will be in a sequence process, and it can be used, the conditions, whatever the condition has been used there, we can use those conditions in the flowcharts also. So for that, for creating those flowcharts, I have represented some of the symbols here. By using those symbols, we can develop a flowchart for a particular program. Yes? So I will give you an example in the next slide. So don't worry about that. You just go through with those symbols. And by using those symbols, you can create a flowchart for a particular program or a problems or a projects. Yes? So the symbols will be the flow line, terminator, data input and output, so documentation, process symbol as mentioned there, and decision making. I have given the example for decision making, and connector. So the connector will be one statement to another statement connector, and predefined process, preparation, and magnetic disk. That is a database storage. How the data, finally, how the data has been stored and where the data want to be stored. So these are the shapes that I was mentioned here. I will share you the slide with you, and you can go through with the shapes and what are the description about the each and individual shapes, right? Are you hungry right now, all of them?
No, sir.
No.
No, sir.
Already I attended 2 classes, and I hope so. First class you have interacted more, so that's why the diesel has been came down. So that's why no one is opening your mouth right now, right? No. So yes, so I will share the slide with you, and I am again telling that.
Yes, sir.
And I am again telling that if you are not aware in the basic introduction class, in the basic part, if you are having any doubt, kindly ask me. I will clear you the basic doubts. Once we are moving to the program-oriented part, then I can't able to clear you the basic doubt when we are discussing about the program part. So that's why I am repeatedly telling that. If you are having any query, just comment me in a comment box, or you can just ping me in a WhatsApp or in a classroom also. So that's fine. Then we'll make an alternative arrangements. And now coming to this, kindly go with those pseudocode and the flowchart that we have discussed, shown there. And can anyone tell me what is really happening in this flowchart and pseudocode? What is the process is happening?
Sequence.
No, I am asking the process. What is really happening and what will be the output?
Calculating allow 1 and allow 2, sir.
Calculating allowance. Okay, allow 1. Okay, the allow as mentioned as that was given as you just see the pseudocode. That is an allowance. In a flowchart we can mention any kind of thing we can mention that. But the thing is the calculating the allowance for the 2 child. So first we go with the flowchart that we are getting the age 1 of the first child and age 2 of the second child, and by these 2 age we have fixed the rate, and we want to multiply those rate with the age, and we want to print the allowance of the each and individual child. Okay, in the pseudocode we have that the code has been left out the input of the rate. So I will give you one example. The first child age is 5 and second child age is 7, and the rate of an age is 2. And what will be the output of the allow 1 and allow 2?
10 and
14.
10 and 14.
10 and 14, yes. So the output will be 10 and 14. In the pseudocode, the rate that was not mentioned there, and we want to add the rate in the lines of code, and we want to allot the value for the rate also. And after getting those rate, and you can get into the flowchart and you can get the result. So for calculating like this kind of problem, we want to write a pseudocode like this. And I have not mentioned that I am not mentioned that prompt keyword in the pseudocode we are discussed in the previous slide, and I have not mentioned the calculate keyword that was discussed in the previous slide, and display keyword also. So these are the keywords that we want to include by the usage of your program. So whatever the thing we are initializing, we want to write a keywords over there. So the keyword want to be in a capital letter, and it want to be in a bold format also. Fine? Yes?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So this is the sequence algorithm. You can see the flow of a flowchart. It will be in a sequence format. So now coming to the second one. So can anyone tell me what is really happening here?
Calculating the sum.
Calculating the sum of, so here mentioned that as 5 numbers, and we want to initialize the value sum is equal to 0 and count is equal to 0, and we want to enter the n number. So n in the sense 5 numbers want to be there, 5 number we want to be entered in a step-by-step process. So enter the first step, it will give you as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the first step the enter n value will be executed as 1. So sum is equal to sum plus n. So sum already discussed as 0 and plus n is equal to 1. So sum is equal to, now the value has been initialized as 1, and count is equal to count plus 1. In the sense count is equal to 0 plus 1, that is 1. So next coming to the condition statement, if, sorry, that is not is, if. So if count is greater than 5, less than 5, then the condition will be, again we want to go for a n to get a second number. So if I am getting the second number is 2 and sum is equal to, already we have mentioned that sum is equal to 1. So now sum is equal to 1 plus 2. So now the sum value is 3. So just you can execute with your white sheet, then you will get a clear idea about that. Once the condition is false, then it will print the sum value, whatever the final sum value is there, and it will print the sum value and the program will be terminated. Fine. Get into a white sheet and do a method. Do the method, whatever I am doing. You are initializing the sum is equal to 0 and count is equal to 0. You are initialize the value first, and you are getting a 5 numbers by in order to 1 by 1. You are not getting the 5 numbers at a time. You are getting those 5 numbers 1 by 1, and you want to make that process, that is sum is equal to sum plus n and count is equal to count plus 1. So you want to make those process and you want to find out the result. In manually, you can find out easily. If I am giving 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5, so 5 numbers I am giving you, what will be the sum? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 number I am giving you, what will be the sum?
15.
15. Yes. So manually we can find out easily. So this is on smallest number, then you can find out easily. If you are going for some other biggest number, it will be more difficult. You want to write, take a calculator or take a paper, and you want to find out the average of those 5 numbers. For this purpose, we are going with those flowchart. And with this example, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can write, you can draw those flowchart, and you can side by side. I want you people to write the steps for each and individual n. So you want to be write in your A4 sheet and keep it with you. Once the first unit has been over, I will ask you to submit this paper in the Google Classroom. At that time, you want to submit this paper, right? Yes. Take your A4 sheet and write this flow, draw this flowchart in an A4 sheet, and in the side of an A4 sheet, you just initialize the value 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and do the each and individual step for those 5 numbers, and keep that paper with you. Once the first unit has been over, I will ask you to submit that A4 sheet in the Google Classroom. At that time, you want to submit those sheet. Okay. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So I want to reply this, whether it is okay or you having doubts. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes. So if you are next class onwards, I will go with the board presentation. and I'll explain you in a board presentation. The PPT will be over and from the next class, I hope so. So once the program has been started, I will go with the board presentation. Then you will get a clear idea about that. This is one of the basic thing you can see with the basic flowchart. You can understand that, and be ready with that A4 sheet. Whenever you are getting time, you can do that work. And after completion of the first unit, I will give you a time to submit. Right? Yes. So as of now, this is the end of this session, and we will go. So whatever we have discussed, that is the building blocks of an algorithm, and what are the building blocks of an algorithm, and what are the control flows that can be used in an algorithm, and the types of control flow has been explained. And I will give you this presentation. You can read out this text, whatever I have mentioned there. And notation of an algorithm, that will be consist of 4 types. One is step form, pseudocode, flowchart, and programming language. We are not entered into the programming language, so that's the programming language we are going to discuss is Python. So step form is moreover like an algorithm, and pseudocode is the keywords. With the help of the keyword, we can elaborate the algorithm, and flowchart it is a graphical representation. So these are the keywords, and these are the symbols that can be used in shapes that was used in a flowchart. And we discussed 2 basic examples. One is from sequence and another is from selection. Fine? Any doubts? Yes?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. So if you are not having any doubts, you just leave from here. Newly joined 2 members, you want to stay back here. Whoever joined newly today, you want to stay back here.
Okay, sir.
And if you are not having any doubt, you can leave now. And if you want to fill the attendance in the Google Classroom before 1 o'clock, after 1 o'clock, those who are filling the attendance, it will mark as an absent. Thank you. Hari, can you unmute yourself? So the voice is not clear. Can you mute yourself and you can try in a different device? I'm not getting your voice. So mic problem. It's not a problem. You try.
Can you
Try
hear me,
in a
sir?
different. Yes.
Can you hear me, sir?
Yes, Hari. So where are you from, Hari?
I'm from Theni, sir.
Theni. Okay. Have you studied computer science in your 12th?
No, sir. Biomax, sir.
Biomax. So both of them are Biomax. So newly joined today. So yes, Shruti and Hari, kindly make it down. Have you joined in a Google Classroom?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
So
sir.
I have shared the previous 2 classes presentation in there.
Yes, sir.
You just download those presentation and you just look into those presentation, and
Okay.
Most probably in the next week, I will share these 3 classes videos to you.
Okay, sir.
Okay, sir.
So you go with those videos in your free times, and in case after seeing those videos you having any doubts, you just ping me in a WhatsApp and you will make some other arrangements, right?
Okay, sir.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you for that.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yes, thank you.